Good evening, Twitchers and YouTubers, and welcome to episode number 4 of the Bluegoose Interview Series. And tonight's guest is basically the patriarch and the man in charge of everything that goes on in the world of Sim Racing Authority, which currently offers the SRA Elwood Designs Xfinity Series and the SRA Gen 6 Series presented by J. Robin Free. League's been around for many years, and this is the man that created all, Mr. Bobby Cheney. Cheney, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thanks for having me, Brett.
So, before we get into SRA, I want to first start asking, what led to your discovery of sim racing and iRacing in general?
Um, I first got into sim racing, early '90s with the first Papyrus NASCAR game, and actually, a cousin of mine, Austin, had it, and we just started playing it, and I was hooked ever since, and played all the Papyrus games all the way up until here we are with iRacing. But I played in NASCAR 2003, and I guess that thing's huge hit, and it's still a hit today. I raced in leagues there, and then uh, worked my way up and felt like I was pretty good. And then, uh, I'm a huge NASCAR fan, and started seeing little bits and pieces about this thing called iRacing, and mainly because of Dale Jr. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was promoting it pretty good. So one day I just went on the website, started reading about it, and I was like, man, I really ain't got that kind of money to be doing that. So, and then we got like a promotion deal or something, so I tried it out, and the rest is history.
And we all know about Dale Jr.'s exposure to iRacing in general from the early days. So, now going back to kind of like how I first actually saw kind of you especially channels in the days of Nordgard TV. Heck, I remember my first ever race with you guys in Nordgard TV was a truck race to Kansas, and at the time I didn't even have a headset or anything like that, and I made a free wide in the very start. Luckily, I didn't crash the field, but um, what was it like in the days of Nordgard TV before eventually creating Sim Racing 40? How did those events, I guess, lead up to the creation of SRA?
I mean, I was just new to iRacing, and just starting to figure out streams and stuff. Twitch was just getting introduced, and I was just didn't really know anything much about it. And, I was hanging out in the hostess sessions just one day, and and just saw this little question mark thing, miss your race question mark, and didn't really think anything of it. And then came across a stream on Twitch, an iRacing stream, and it was Norgar TV, which I didn't know what it was then, and just watched and watched and watched, and I was like, man, this is cool. And they were actually having the first ever Nordtona 500, and it was like a whole week of qualifying races, and I got in, started doing that, and finally qualified for the race, and then started doing their leagues and figured out, wow, these guys, you got a really good community. I mean, they were filling 43 cars every week, 40, 50 people in TeamSpeak every night. We missed your race every night, 7 days a week, all night. I mean, it was fun, and met a lot of great people. A lot of great people. Still friends with them today, and that was 4 years ago. And I don't really hate any of them. It was a blast for sure.
And Nordgard TV is still around to this day, not quite as often as it was before, but still had a North Toronto 500. I think they had the third annual actually earlier in 2016, still around today. So I mean, anyone out there, never know when Norgard will show up with mystery racing and all that good stuff. So after the Norgard TV stuff, you created SRA and Sim Racing 40 in general, and of course today, you've been pretty big in SRA with now being on Max Speed TV. You got pretty good fields of cars. I mean, the talent level is just out of this world right now. How much has changed from the beginnings of SRA to what it is today in SRA? What has been the biggest changes?
Well, I mean, we started SRA. When we first started, actually, we were in OBS um, racing league with Indy cars when we first started, but we decided that, we knew Norgard TV wasn't doing very well. Like Nord was gonna be busy with work, just all kinds of other stuff, and I was like, man, we got a really nice group, a really good community here, and I didn't want to lose them. You know, I mean, it was fun. It made iRacing fun. I didn't need to do the official side of the iRacing because we had these guys that were clean and and it was fun. And my main goal when I first started in OBS was to, keep the guys together. That was my ultimate goal from everybody that was in Norgar was to keep them together in case something happened, which it ended up going away. But that was my main goal, and we started in OBS with an IndyCar league, and some guys came over from Norgar TV, and we used to run with 7, 8 car fields. I mean, every Sunday, and had great races. And then we decided, once we heard it was pretty much gonna go away, we decided we were gonna rebrand in OBS, and tried to come up with a name. And I thought about, hey, Sim Racing Authority, drive hard, our slogan is drive hard, and rebranded it. And we had helps with Matt Simpson, Austin Roberts. Matt Simpson came in, made all the graphics and stuff, and we got a website going, we got all kinds of stuff going, and relaunched, rebranded pretty much, and went from there. And we had to start out with 10, 12 car fields for quite a few seasons, and then the word gets out, and then a lot of the other Norgar guys start coming over, and then the rest is history. I mean, we first opened the doors, when we rebranded and redid it and opened Sim Race Stories, was actually, the exact date was December 2nd, 2013, when we actually redid it, opened it, and started. And one of our first big races was the throwback 400, um, with the national car, which I think is the K&N car now in iRacing, and we all ran '90s paint schemes. Everybody had to have a '90s NASCAR Winston Cup paint scheme, and we ran that race, and before we really started kicking off. And I mean, the rest is history. Now I feel like we started from the bottom, and now we're here, they would say. So
Hmm.
we definitely had to pay, you know, some hard times there to start, but that's what you got to do. You got to start slow and just work your way up, and that's what we did. And I am proud of everything we've done and where we're at today.
And now with SRA now almost being around almost 3 years now, what are like the biggest benefits and struggles of running SRA, especially for any people who might be considering starting up in a league in the future? Like what are some of the benefits and struggles of running a league like we have here in SRA?
Well, we'll start with the benefits. Those positives is always good. I mean, the benefits. I mean, with more people, some leagues charge entry fees. We are a free league. Anybody can run. Once you're in the league, you can run any series we want. We don't have certain rosters for series. Once we did that and built the crowd up to where we're having 25 cars a week on average, the benefits of that is where you start. We take donations if the guys, you guys want trophies and stuff like that. We ask for donations. Nobody has to donate, but they do. We get great donations. The donations pay for our broadcast for Max Speed TV with Rudy Cummings, Scott Brizick, and Jeff Dawson, and sometimes you. Those all 100% paid with donations, and that's some of the benefits. You meet new guys, friends on iRacing. I mean, it's and you get to have fun, and you have something to look forward to, on Sundays and Mondays with us, because I enjoy racing with some of these guys. But some of the downfalls, I mean, when you become a bigger league with bigger car counts, I mean, it gets tough. We started out with a very small rule book. Now we got a decent sized rule book, but you got to have rules, and bigger fields is you're going to have some rule breakers. Uh, so you got to have admins that actually don't want to race to sit and watch to make sure guys are falling in sync, and following the rules. That's probably the biggest thing. Once you get to your car field, the fields of cars up, that's probably the thing most is keeping them guys in check and make sure we stay classy and try to put on the best show and clean show and not have intentional wrecking. My goal here is I don't want to ban anybody permanently from the league. We have suspension system. We have incident systems where guys sit out. We just suspend them here, and we don't want to ban anybody. That's not our goal. So, but in the end, it's fun. I look forward to every Sunday and Monday to racing. That's about all I do on iRacing anymore is league racing. So I really look forward to it. But you're gonna have your cons with pros and cons with the leagues. But hey, if you feel like you start up a league, go ahead. I mean, iRacing has a great tool for it. It's just that you can't be frustrated when you only have 7, 8 car fields. You're not going to instantly have 20, 25 average car fields. You got to work your way towards that.
Especially with how tough it's to start up leagues nowadays, anyways. Now, but anyways, SRA is definitely, from personal experience, one of the toughest leagues to get even a race win in, because the quality of the drivers is way up there. I mean, especially like you had guys that are currently running the peak antifreeze series like Adam Gilliland and Logan Clampett, just to name a couple that have come and run with you guys in SRA. And even now, like I counted 5 drivers that ran the NASCAR Pro Series opener last week at Texas. There, Bobby Zielinski, Derek Bordeaux, Nicholas Shelton, Marcus Richardson, and Kyle Putt have all had success in SRA. And how gratifying is that to have like not only guys from the Peak Antifreeze Series come and run SRA, but some of the, I guess, homegrown talent in SRA looking to make that next step and compete in the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series.
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it just shows what kind of talent levels here. And it also shows when them guys want to come race with us, the kind of exposure that's in the community. I'm not saying there's some leagues out there way better, way well organized, more organized than us, but I mean people know the name and they want to race with us, and that's what we want to do. We don't want to be come off as just a crappy bunch of guys. We try our best to make it as clean as possible. But most of us, like 3/4 of our guys that we run with, we've been racing with each other for over 4 years. So it's uh, it's a great thing, and it takes guys racing around each other a lot to make a league great too. So, but yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I know. I wish all them guys well. I mean, they come and run league races when they can. They're doing a lot of testing now, but everybody knows Marcus and Derek and them guys are really good, and wish them the best of luck for sure.
Now, all the league stuff aside, and going back to some of your any personal like iRacing accomplishments you've had, and how much has the competition in SRA improved you as a driver in iRacing itself, especially for like any official stuff, anything like that as well?
Sim Racing Authority has not just me personally, but a lot of other drivers. I mean, I've learned a lot. I go in to like top split NIS races, you know, 5,000 SOFs and run top 10, top 5. I mean, and it's just crazy because it feels like when I run SRA league races, it's harder to even get in the top 10. It's definitely made me a better racer, in the official side with the other guys running with these guys because, I mean, they'll make you want to learn to beat them, and they will help you become a better iRace. The faster guys will work with you and show you what they're doing to help you compete. I mean, it's crazy. I know a lot of guys in here that weren't very good on the official side come here and race with us for season after season, and then they go run officials and they realize, wow, I'm a lot faster than I used to be. So I mean, these guys keep you on your toes for sure.
Now, with all the iRacing stuff questions aside, I gotta ask about a real life question, I guess. Talking about, and I've asked this to everyone I've interviewed so far, the real life NASCAR chase in general. If you want like my opinion on it, like right as this whole chase even started, I hated it since day one, and I still hate it to this day. What is your opinion on the NASCAR chase in real life? As actually they're just about to run the season finale next Sunday at Homestead in their Final Four in their current format.
Um, my opinion on the chase is I hate it. I think it's the worst thing that could happen to NASCAR for me. In my experience with NASCAR, I've been watching every NASCAR race since 1994. I've never missed a race. I mean, I've either listened to it on the radio, And to me, a champion should be determined for the whole season. You know, the guy that is consistent, consistently fast. The teams that they show up every week and have the fast car and run the 36 races and stay in the points lead. I think, in my opinion, is the champion. Um, yeah, I hate the chase. I mean, just with this shootout format now, they have the three races elimination and then the top four guys run highest finisher. I think it's just terrible. I mean, you can be. I mean, like Jimmy Johnson won like the first couple one of the first couple races of the season. Well, he can just sit back and relax and not I have to try. Or like for an example at Talladega with the Joe Gibbs cars, nothing wrong if they did. I'd have done the same thing. I mean, they played the system, but they purposely ran in the back and didn't have to run up in that pack and nothing. Didn't have to do anything because they knew they were in. I mean that format creates that, but you can't be mad at them because that's what you got to do. And if I was a Kyle Busch fan or a Matt Kenseth fan or a Carl Edwards fan, I'd be mad going to the race. I mean, because I go there to watch my favorite driver, and if he's not going to try to win the race, well, I feel disappointed, like I wasted my money. So I know NASCAR was probably thinking they wanted to make it exciting, and it's definitely exciting. Definitely, it's exciting, but I just think it's wrong. They're trying to be like the NBA and NFL and have a playoff system and compete. They're not even on the same level as them guys, and never will be. And their TV ratings and other stuff is down. Huge fan base is down. I mean, nobody's going to the races, and not just necessarily chase, but ticket prices. But you know, that's my opinion. I just think it's terrible. It's a lot of guys that have ran well all season get cheated out of championship for sure.
And finally, my last question to ask, and of course, the other one I always ask everyone I've interviewed so far, with the stuff that iRacing brings out, every 13 weeks or so, and of course, the big thing coming out, I'm pretty sure it's coming out this year, is Dirt, and of course, everyone and their dog is excited about that, including myself. But not counting the stuff that's coming out in iRacing soon or in the future, if there is one thing you could add or change to iRacing, what would it be?
Um, I would definitely something I would add to iRacing uh would probably be um it's a tough one. There's a couple things. Day night transitions is something I really want added to iRacing. I think that would make the racing experience better. And I know you only asked one thing, but I got one more thing they need to have is random motor blows, blow motors randomly like they had on the NR 2003. I think that'd be great.
That's actually be a really interesting one as well. Well, anyway, Chinny, on behalf of myself at Blue Goose Racing and Streaming, thanks for coming on to being a part of this interview series, episode number 4. Is there any shout outs you want to give to before we go off the air?
I just want to thank you for having me on here and doing this. It's cool, nice to let me on here so we can, get the league out and how we started and where we're at today. Um, I got to thank, all the admins, Sim Race Authority, all the broadcasters that show up every week, Max Speed TV, all the people that donate for the series sponsorships, Elwood Designs, and J Robin 3, Josh Robin, his YouTube page. I got to thank all them guys and everybody else that helps out and donates. It's this league wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them for sure.
Well, glad to hear that, by Chan. Good luck the rest of the season if both series, the Xfinity and the Cup Series, and thanks once again for being a part of this series.
Thank you, Brett.